Hello, Void Dwellers. Like many other people, I also wondered how could the Democrats lose so spectacularly? And like many others, I thought it was mostly because of one thing, really, and that's the woke issue. And I thought that even though I 85% disagree with the entire accusation, as those of you who watch my videos know, I consider myself mostly on the left on social and economical issues. But I make it my business to follow and listen to a variety of voices online and in the media, and I found that that topic was the one that reigned over the conversation for at least 4 years now, all the way from the right, through the center, and on to the moderate left. And of course, I'm not the only one who came to the conclusion that the woke thing was very, very damaging for the left. I think anyone who has a reasonable ear to the ground could have gotten to that conclusion.
I only have one problem with the woke theory.
I was wondering when are we going to hear from you? Well, wondering, I say, dreading. I'm going to guess that what comes next would be a classic Jon Stewart moment. Old, out of touch, sounds reasonable if you are someone with no reason. Let's see if I'm right.
I just didn't recall seeing any Democrats running on woke shit. These were the commercials I saw for the Democrats.
You got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, I knew it would be stupid, but I never thought. I'm actually shocked. And I know you guys know that I'm reading a script on a teleprompter, but I am now speaking the words of past Raz, who had just seen that clip right now, using the voice of present Raz, who is the future Raz from that perspective. Pretty trippy, right? That's the kind of realizations that people get when they are high. And I can tell you, there were times in my life when I was very high. And I was never that high to think that what drives people to the voting booths, what makes people decide who to vote for in 2024, are those dumb, outdated campaigns you see on TV. Are you fucking shitting me, John? Do you think the entire electorate is your age? What the fuck are you even talking about? There's even research that looked into it and found that the influence of political advertisement is small at best. And that's regardless of who's doing the advertising and to what audience. This is so out of touch. And the reason John thinks it is true, aside from, being ancient, is that he lives in an echo chamber. He doesn't hear any opinions that he disagrees with, unless it's like Fox News so he can make fun of it. He has no respect for the other side and their way of thinking, and that, above all, is what sank the Democrats and what would sink the left in other countries as well. It's like in the video I made about tariffs. Yes, I think the suggestion from the right to have tariffs is a terrible suggestion, and the American people will suffer because of it. But I made the video because I was annoyed by how the leftists presented it as if that's the reason for suggesting it, just to screw over the working man. No, they have a reasoning behind it. Yes, it's flawed, but it's not stupid or evil. Or the trans issue. Are there bigots out there? Yes, of course there are. But most people who are now voting for the right and wouldn't normally, they're not bigoted. They just have eyes. And they saw ridiculous and unacceptable things like lesbian being bullied because they are attracted to a biologically born woman. Or even a rapist deciding he is a woman midway his trial and sent to a women's prison where he can rape some more. And you may say, well, these cases don't represent anything. The majority of cases are not like that. These are the extremes. And I would completely agree with you. But the problem is that the left as a whole in the media and in social media did not treat it like they are the extremes, but demanded that we all view them as perfectly normal. When J.K. Rowling came up and simply said, wait, biologically born women still have their rights, the left turned on her. And the right stood by her. You you let it become an issue of extremes and you placed yourselves at one edge of it. I remember the tweet from Harry Potter itself, Daniel Radcliffe, saying trans women are women. That was so cringy to me. Aside from it being an obviously easy and convenient stunt, which guarantees you are seen as an ally by the right people, while throwing the woman who made your career under the bus, what really bothered me about it is how sexist and misogynistic it was. All I thought when I read it was, okay, everyone, quiet down, especially you ladies, quiet down. There's a white, straight, rich man over there who's going to explain to us what a woman is. And so please, quiet down. I will not tell you again. Joanne, I will not tell you again. The white, straight man who is rich and had everything handed out to him from birth, he is talking now, and you will show him the respect that he deserves. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. Please do explain to us so we can benefit from your wisdom. What is a woman? The point I'm making is that the left did not treat that issue with any respect to the people who weren't on the far extremes. And in the process, you actually stifle the voices of true transgender people. You let the idiots turn it into a fad, something to use for virtue signaling and attention seeking. And that's not much better than the bigots. Because for a very, very small minority of people, this is a real issue, a life-threatening issue. And they needed to be heard, and you let them down. Only the left is capable of such stupidity, to alienate everyone, including the people they claim to stand up for. That's why I've always said, no one does crazy like the right, but no one does stupid like the left. Or let's look at another example, inclusivity in entertainment. I think it is one of the greatest things we in the West made finally a lot of progress in, because it is an important issue. And why? Because for the longest time, decades and decades, minorities saw themselves represented only as certain negative stereotypes. Whether it's black people or Asians, it was always criminals, thugs, or a comic relief character. And now you can find minorities who are, actual real people, or the hero of the movie or the show. And that's important because it's important for people growing up to know that they can be more than those damaging stereotypes, that they are more, that they are not only judged by those offensive stereotypes. And maybe these days I understand that even more because I've been living in the UK for the past 6 years, and here the Jew is still always and only a villain. So I know how it feels when you don't see any positive representation of your group. But then, of course, the entertainment industry had to take it to idiotic extremes. Instead of creating new stories that incorporate positive minority characters, instead of importing stories from different cultures and producing them, what did they do? They took old classics and changed the main characters. From hobbits to a French vampire to a character literally called Snow White because she is so pale. And I know, you're thinking, well, those white people need to get over themselves. And let me give you a little secret. Come on, come closer. Let me tell you a little secret. I personally don't give two shits about any of the examples I just gave you, and probably most of the other examples that you can think of. Unless it's a historical drama, I honestly don't care about the ethnicity of the person playing a fictional character. Batman can be any other ethnicity at this point, and the story will work. It doesn't matter. But I'm not the center of the universe, and there are people out there to whom it does matter. People who saw that as a threat. And the left, instead of trying to understand, just ridiculed or vilified them. Let me explain it to you in a way you might finally get it. You are like a bad parent with 2 children, and for years you gave all the ice cream to one child. So that child has grown fat and spoiled. Then suddenly you came to your senses and decided that the other child deserves some ice cream too. So do you give the other child ice cream as well? No, because you're a fucking moron that can never get it right. You took the ice cream from that one and gave that ice cream to that one, and now you're surprised that that one who you spoiled rotten is throwing a tantrum? This is not on them. This is on you, you idiot. Just fucking give everyone ice cream and all will be fine. And then, of course, there's the immigration and Islamists issue. The way the left doesn't even recognize the existence of people who actually do not share the values of the West. So much so that they let them into the leftist parties. And every time someone points it out, even without generalizing against the entire group, you immediately brand them as far right to silence them. And the list just goes on and on and on, and the left never learns. Like I said, no one does stupid like them. So the idiots on Reddit now, they think that if Bernie Sanders was the candidate, he would have won, which is beyond delusional. That is like, you people need to be on medication. Not to mention that if Sanders was the candidate, I guarantee you it would have been the first time in American history that a huge majority of the Jewish community would have voted red. If there's one thing most of us can't stand, is a self-hating Jew who would throw us all under the bus for the cheers of the crowd. And that's another thing. The left failed to stand up to antisemitism. The left is seen as responsible for those weekly hate marches and neo-Nazis in kafia on campuses. And to many people in the West, including centrists and moderate leftists, fighting anti-Semitism and standing up for Western values, the values the left fucking championed for decades, is actually extremely important. The left lost and will continue to lose because it refuses to face the fact that it has gone bad. That it has let idiots, racists, and totalitarians take over it. It refuses to see the damage outdated, one-trick-minded dinosaurs like Stewart or John Oliver or the rest of them are causing the entire political side. They refuse to listen to the other side from a place of understanding rather than ridicule and condescension. And yeah, I realize the irony of it coming from me. I mean, I'm the first to call someone a moron because I have no patience for their stupidity. But at least I do it in an equal way, whether it's stupidity on the left or on the right. Maybe that's the trick the left needs to adopt. Call out stupidity whenever you may find it. Whether it's an orange idiot saying that windmills cause cancer, or a white idiot telling you it wasn't about woke because you didn't say anything about woke in your fucking political ads on TV. Fuck me!